Hi, Annie. It's Leah. I don't know how to use this very well. But anyway, I made notes of things I wanted to. Um, so last week, week of 11/19 through the 25th training, overall, the week felt pretty easy. Everything was very doable. Um, a lot of the main movements were sub max RPE. So I kind of pushed a little more on the accessories, even though I think a lot of the accessories said RPE, maybe 7 to 8. I may have done like 8 to 9. Um, on the tricep dips, I usually have access to a dip machine when I go to my other gym. So I work out at 2 gyms. One is the one that I work at, which is the kind of darker lit one that you'll see in the videos that's under construction right now. So it looks a little awkward in the background. And then there's another gym I go to, so that one has a dip machine, or a dip station, I should say. So I will try to make sure I go to that gym when I need to train on that day to get the dips in. But you're right, I can usually do between 12 and 15 body weight dips, 12 and 15 reps of body weight dips. So it's perfect. I don't like doing the bench dips when you're sitting off of the bench. It just feels uncomfortable on my shoulders. I'd prefer to do it on a dip station. So since I didn't have access to that, I figured and the close grip push-ups would suffice. And they did. They did. Um, I felt it in my triceps. So anyway, and then on the landmine row, I totally get what you mean that I need to take, the reason why you're having me do chest supported rows is to take my lower back out of the equation. And I know how to do them. I was training at the gym I work at, and they only have 2 incline benches. They both were being used at the time. So I was trying to figure out, okay, what else could I do for my back here? So I just set up the landmine row. But next time I'll make sure I get that. I do the chest supported row, or if I can't, I'll figure out a way to do it so that I take my lower back out of the equation there. Um, what else? Oh, and I wanted to know if it's okay if I add pull-ups to my weekly routine, like 1 or 2 times a week. I love doing pull-ups. I like training them because I feel like I get better at them the more I do them. So this last week after my last training day, which was I think the sets of 6 tempo squats, I did like 4 sets of 5 pull-ups, um, chin up style. So let me know if that's okay if I add those in. Um, so looking at my squats, I noticed with the box squats, once the weight got heavier, I could see a pretty big shift um, in my hips going to the right side when I descend. So let me know if you can see that as well in the video, but I can definitely see my hips moving as I get lower. Um, I notice with every single set, my first rep is always high. I don't know if it's just because I'm nervous or I'm waiting to feel that pain in my hip to see when it starts to come on. So if it's like I'm trying to find the right amount of depth, but I notice first rep is always pretty high. Then they start getting a little bit better as I get further into the set. Um, and then I also noticed that my second day of tempo squats, my depth was much better than the first day of tempo squats, so I feel like that's good. That's good to see. But it is pretty much right at parallel for every rep. Um, I notice my hip when I'm doing my warm-ups, but then once I get to my main sets, I don't seem to feel it at all and don't seem to have an issue. So, um, I guess that's a good thing. Maybe it's just taking a while for my hips to warm up and get comfortable with the movement. I'm not sure. And then, like I said, glute pain was minimal this week. Um, I am noticing improvement in my hip range of motion during everyday activities. I'm noticing it's hurting less just in everyday movement. So I'm happy to report that. Um, so moving on to bench, I really like the t-shirt presses. That's something I haven't really put into my training that much or into my programming. I did learn about those from Jen Thompson one time at a seminar. And I really liked them. I could actually like feel my pectoral muscles working. And I could feel them after. So I don't know what's going on with the lighting here. Okay. So I really liked those presses. They felt tough, they felt challenging. My bar path was a little wonky, I feel like, especially on the first set at 105. I felt like it was kind of all over the place. I didn't pause them because I think I asked you if I should pause everything, and then I went and trained, and then when I came back, I saw that you responded. So I think I paused like the first rep and then just tap and go on the rest. But this week, yesterday, I did them again, and I did pause every rep. The pauses may have gotten a little shorter with each rep going into rep 8, but I did pause them. Um, let's see what else. The bench press single at 7.5 RPE felt really good. I did it, I think, at 125. So no complaints there. I've been playing with my foot position a little bit on the bench this week because during the second bench day when I was doing really lightweight comp bench, I could my hip, like my glute was cramping up on my left side. And so my feet are usually out pretty wide. And so I kind of brought them in closer, like I'm hugging the bench a little bit with my legs. And that felt a lot better. I didn't get any cramping. And also, I noticed that my butt keeps coming off the bench. And so once I changed that foot position, it looked like that was improving as well. Um, on to deadlifts. Deadlifts were feeling good, didn't have any issues there. I felt really strong. Um, the sets of 6 actually went better than I expected them to do. The paused deadlift sets were really easy, no issues there. Last week or the week before I started on your programming, when I was doing sets of 6 on deadlift, I noticed my right knee was locking out before my left knee, but I did not experience that this week. I didn't see any of that happening, so that's good. Um, I did stand in my sumo stance and lowered myself to the bar to see at what point I would feel my hip, and I felt it right at about 2 inches above the bar. Like my hands were about 2 inches above the bar. So, still got a lot of work to do before I get back to sumo. But I'm enjoying conventional training. I don't have any issues with it. I love deadlifting, whether it's conventional or sumo. And if we realize I can't go back to sumo, that's fine too. I can live with that. But I was just curious to see how it was going to feel. And it's still not feeling good in that position. So, anyway, that's my recap. I'm going to email you links to the videos for all the squats, the bench, and the deadlift from this last week. I did decide to go back and combine them all into 3 videos. So you're not having to deal with 8 videos. You have 3 videos to watch. So, anyway, and let me know content wise if those are about what you need. Um, and that's about it. I'm not sure if I need to report on nutrition and stuff. Just finally getting comfortable with tracking again because I pretty much was cutting leading up to nationals. So after nationals, I of course was like, I don't want to track anymore because I'm tired of it. So I've just kind of been, you know, eating whatever up until last week. So I'm just getting used to tracking again, but it's not that hard. I usually pretty much eat the same thing every week. I did purchase the RP Strength nutrition templates or whatever because I was curious about them and since they were on sale. So I'm going to try to follow that in terms of per meal because I think you gave me overall macros to reach every day. But I like it broken down by meal. So I'm going to try theirs and see how it works. Um, anyway, I think that's all I have to report. All right. Talk to you later. Bye.